Okay, so this lab basically you need to configure basically um, so basically you need to verify VLANs and configure trunks. So let's just wait a little bit until this stabilized. Okay, so now go to let's say go to S1 and display the current VLANs. Go to CLI. Okay, go to CLI. Enable. And then show VLAN brief. Okay, now you have this switch has 4 different VLANs, right? I mean, other than the default VLAN. But it shows that even gigabyte 1 and 2 is belong to VLAN 1. This means that this 2 ports, which is a gigabyte Ethernet 1 and 2, has not been yet configured as a trunk ports. Okay, that's a good indication. So another command that you can have is show interface trunk. So there's no trunk ports basically. So basically this show interface trunk commands to confirm that DTD, actually dynamic trunking protocol, I mean DTP, sorry, dynamic trunking protocol has successfully negotiated trunking with S1 on S2 and S3. So basically there's no, so that's why when you try to ping from PC1 and PC4, this ping should not work. So on S2 and S3 display, they verify all the VLANs. So we'll just do the same thing. Go to S2. Right, there's same thing. This F gigabyte 1 of switch 2 is still is a VLAN 1, right? That means this has not been configured as a trunk port. Okay, so that's why you cannot really ping from PC1 to PC4, although they are on the same network. Now let's configure this interface on S1 as a trunking port for trunking. Go to S1 and then command is what? Let's just configure this both ports as a trunk port. So I'm gonna use a range function. So interface range gigabyte 0102, so 1 through 2, and then switch port mode is now trunk. Okay, and then part B is configure VLAN 99 as a native VLAN. So the native VLAN means no tagging, right? The Ethernet frame read a native VLAN 99 should not be tagged. It's untagged frame. So let's say the command for that is switch port trunk native VLAN 99. Okay, so now it's 99 as a native VLAN. We set VLAN 99 as a native VLAN, right? It's native VLAN. And then, oops, okay, so this error message, right? This error message is there is a mismatch, like VLAN mismatch, native VLAN discovered on this. So there's basically a complaint, there's a mismatch. Because when you look at this S2, we have not configured this port as a trunk port. And then we don't even set up the native VLAN. So by default, if you look at the switch 2, by default the native VLAN is basically VLAN 1 is a native VLAN by default. And so that's why they're complaining there's a mismatch. But now let's go to P1, the PC1, and try to ping the PC4, even though we have not configured Gigabyte Ethernet 1 of S2 as a trunk port, even though we have not configured that yet. Let's see if we can be able to ping. Okay, so what happens? We have not configured this Gigabyte port 1 of S2 as a trunk port, and still is working because what? Because of dynamic trunking protocol. So dynamic trunking protocol has automatically negotiated with the other side of the trunk link. So in this particular case, S2 and S3 now automatically configured the port attached to S1 thanks to DTP, dynamic trunking protocol. Okay. So go to S2 and S3, and what happens? Go to S2. So let's say show interface trunk. Okay, see? This is now showing that 01 is a trunk port, although we have not really configured it as a trunk port. It's automatically configured as a trunk port because of DTP, dynamic trunking protocol. And okay, so let's go to S3, and let's do if we do the same thing. Go to S3, go to S3, go to CLI, and it's still complaining the native VLAN mismatch, because in S3, right, the VLAN 1 is a native VLAN by default. It's not 99. So show interface trunk. So it's really, this command confirms that DTP, dynamic trunking protocol, has successfully negotiated trunking with S1, right? And this really said VLAN allowed on active in this management domain is basically 10, 1, 10, 20, 30, and 99. These are the is allowed VLANs through this trunking cable, trunking line, basically. Okay. So what is the next step? Next step is configure VLAN 99 as a native VLAN for the appropriate interfaces on S2 and S3, right? That's the next step. So go to S2 and S3. Go to S2 first, and then say configure, and then we have to type what? The command, right? We have to say switch port. First we have to go to interface. Gigabyte 01, right? Gigabyte 01, and then switch port we have to say switch port, this is a trunk port. Switch mode trunk, and then set it as a native VLAN. Switch port trunk, native VLAN 99. Okay, so let's do the same thing for S3. S3, yes. Go to interface, what interface? Gigabyte 2, yes, that's the interface. So interface, oops, configuration first. And then go to interface 2, right? Is it 2? Yes, 2. Since thanks to dynamic trunking protocol, this port has already configured as a trunking port, but I'll just use this command, just make sure that this is a trunk port. You don't have to, but just for this, just want to make sure that this port is configured as a trunk port. And then I'm going to set VLAN 99 as a native VLAN. So switch port trunk native VLAN 99. Okay, so now probably I won't have any complaints, because now VLAN 99 is set as a native VLAN for S1, 2, and 3. Okay, so verify the configuration S2 and S3. So issue the show interface switch port command to verify that native VLAN is now 99. Okay, so let's go to S2 and then they show what interface. So interface for S2 is what? This one, right? 01. Oops, sorry, I made a mistake. Interface show interface 1, and then what? Switch port. That's what I would like to see. So trunking native VLAN is now what? It's 99, right? So this is let's just read this message. It says it's a mode is trunk mode, operation mode is trunk, and then what is they use 802.1q protocol, which is IEEE standard protocol for trunking. And then what? VLAN 99 is measurement protocol. So you'll do the same thing, yes, right? So you can do the same thing for S3, but I'm gonna skip that. You just do apply the same command, but this time it's make sure that it's not gigabyte 1, it's gigabyte 02 interface. So apply the same command. Okay, so that's the end of this lab.